Guys, oh my god, you know how obsessed I am with creepy stuff, right? Like haunted houses, scary stories, anything that makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. But let me tell you, nothing compares to real-life haunted places. We're talking about locations steeped in so much darkness, so much tragedy, that you can practically feel it in the air. Not all haunted places are created equal. Some locations hold such dark histories that simply stepping inside can send chills down your spine. What happens when you visit the most haunted places in the world? Let's uncover the terrifying stories behind 5 of the scariest locations on Earth. Okay, so first up, we're going straight to the base of Mount Fuji in Japan. You'd think like majestic mountain, beautiful scenery, right? Wrong. Nestled in the shadow of this majestic mountain is a place called Aokigahara Forest. But don't let the beauty of the surrounding nature fool you. This place is chilling. It's known as the Suicide Forest, and for good reason. For decades, people have been drawn to this forest to, end their lives. It's heartbreaking, and it's created this incredibly heavy energy in the forest. Locals will tell you about spirits that wander through the trees, whispering, calling out. And the silence, let me tell you, the silence is deafening. It's like the forest itself is holding its breath. There are stories of hikers who've gone off the trail just a little bit to explore, and they've gotten completely turned around. Some people believe the spirits of the forest confuse them, lead them deeper and deeper until they're lost forever. And the footsteps, oh my God, the footsteps. So many people have claimed to hear footsteps behind them, crunching on the leaves and twigs, but when they turn around, nothing, just the trees and that eerie silence. All right, next we're going underground, like deep underground. We're talking about the catacombs of Paris. I'm talking miles and miles of tunnels, but these aren't your ordinary tunnels. These tunnels are filled with bones, millions of them. Skulls stacked upon skulls, femurs arranged in patterns. It's like something out of a horror movie. Imagine walking through these narrow passageways, the air thick with the smell of dust and decay. The walls around you literally made of the remains of human beings. It's overwhelming, the sheer number of bones. I mean, we're talking the remains of over 6 million people, 6 million. And the stories, oh God, the stories. People have reported seeing shadowy figures lurking in the darkness, just out of reach of their flashlights. Whispers echoing through the tunnels, voices murmuring in languages they don't understand. It's like the spirits of the dead are trying to communicate, to reach out from beyond the grave. And then there's the story of the lost cameraman. In 2010, a camera was found deep within the catacombs. The footage on it was terrifying. It showed a man, clearly lost and panicked, running through the tunnels, his flashlight beam dancing across the walls. He was breathing heavy, whispering to himself, and then the camera fell to the ground, and the footage cut out. They never found that man. He just vanished into the darkness, swallowed up by the catacombs. Okay, buckle up, because this next one is truly messed up. We're headed to Mexico, to a tiny little island called Isla de las Muñecas, or as it's more commonly known, the Island of the Dolls. Imagine this. You're rowing down a murky canal and then you start to see them. Dolls. Hundreds of dolls. Hanging from the trees nailed to the walls, their little plastic limbs swaying in the breeze, their lifeless eyes staring right at you. It's the stuff of nightmares. The caretaker, Don Julian Santana, found a drowned girl in the canal. He hung up a doll as a tribute, but the dolls kept coming. He believed they were possessed by spirits. Locals say the dolls whisper at night and their heads turn to watch you. Years later, Don Julian was found dead, drowned, in the exact same spot where he found the girl. Coincidence? I don't think so. Next, we're stepping back in time to one of the most iconic landmarks in the world, the Tower of London. Now, this place has seen some things. Over 1,000 years of history, guys, 1,000 years. It's been a royal palace, a treasury, and most notably a prison. We're talking torture, executions, some of the most brutal events in English history all went down within these walls. So, is it any surprise that it's considered one of the most haunted places in the world? People have reported seeing the ghost of Anne Boleyn, the beheaded wife of King Henry VIII, wandering the hallways, her head tucked under her arm. Then there's Lady Jane Grey, the 9 Days Queen, who was also executed in the tower. Her ghost is said to appear on the anniversary of her death, a look of sadness etched on her face. But it's not just the royals who haunt this place. Guards have reported feeling icy cold spots, hearing disembodied screams in the dead of night, and seeing shadowy figures lurking in the shadows. One guard even claimed to have been knocked unconscious by an unseen force while on duty. Can you imagine? Being alone in the Tower of London at night, surrounded by the spirits of all those who suffered and died within its walls? No, thank you. Last but not least, we're going to the United States. Deep in the heart of West Virginia stands the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, an abandoned mental hospital that will chill you to your core. This place is massive, sprawling with these long echoing hallways that seem to go on forever. And the history? It's dark, guys, really dark. Thousands of patients lived and died within these walls, many subjected to horrific treatments. We're talking lobotomies, electroshock therapy, solitary confinement. It's enough to make your skin crawl. And the energy? Oh my God, the energy in this place is heavy. People have reported hearing whispers and moans echoing through the empty halls, disembodied laughter that sends shivers down your spine. Some visitors have even claimed to have been touched, pushed, or even scratched by unseen forces. They say the spirits of the patients who suffered and died here are still trapped, unable to find peace. There are stories of shadow figures lurking at the edge of your vision, patients in old hospital gowns peering at you from the windows. One of the most well-known stories is of a young girl named Lily who roams the halls, searching for her doll. Visitors leave dolls for her in an attempt to appease her spirit, but the hauntings continue. It's like the patients and the staff never truly left. Their pain, their suffering, it's all imprinted on the very walls of the asylum. So, there you have it, guys. 5 of the scariest places in the world that will make you sleep with the lights on. From the haunted forests of Japan to the bone-filled tunnels of Paris, these locations are not for the faint of heart. Would you dare to visit any of these places? Let me know in the comments below which one creeped you out the most. And if you're brave enough, maybe even share your own paranormal experiences. As for me, I think I need to go watch some cartoons after all that creepiness. Until next time, stay spooky.